Hi, my name is Elisa Rodriguez, and today I'm going to be talking about the varicella disease, which is also commonly known as the chickenpox. The chickenpox is a common disease here in the United States, and it is caused by the varicella zoster virus, which is depicted here. This is actually what it looks like under the transmission electron microscope. I will give more details about this virus later in the presentation. So what is the chickenpox? Now, it's a pretty common disease, so everyone pretty much knows that it's a disease that has signs that affect the skin and mucous membranes. So typically, anyone who gets this disease will get rashes or blisters all over their face, back, and chest. And then it will eventually spread onto the arms and inside mucous membranes, such as inside the eyelids, inside the mouth, and the genital areas. Now, these rashes and blisters will be fluid-filled, and they will be very itchy and uncomfortable. And then near the end of the disease, they will start to form into scabs. And this is typically when the body is just trying to heal itself after experiencing this disease. In addition, those with the chickenpox are going to experience symptoms such as headache, high fever, tiredness, and loss of appetite. Now, typically people start to feel the symptoms 1 to 2 days before experiencing any of these signs, and it will last throughout the duration of the disease. And typically, the disease will last roughly 5 to 10 days. So this is a very contagious disease that can be transmitted through the air or direct contact. So anyone who is infected is capable of sneezing and coughing, and the virus will be able to be transferred to another who is breathing in the air. And then also, if someone who were to touch any of the blisters or the rashes along the body, they could also get infected by the virus as well. Anyone who is experiencing the symptoms, which are typically occur 1 to 2 days before the blisters, they are capable of transmitting this disease. And they're still contagious all the way up until the blisters are becoming scabs. Because once the blisters become scabs, that's when the body is just trying to heal itself after it's beaten the pathogen. Anyone who experiences or anyone who gets the virus will typically not feel any signs or symptoms immediately. It will typically take roughly 10 to 21 days before anything occurs. And then also those with shingles are capable of transmitting this disease as well. This is because shingles is caused by the exact same virus as chickenpox. The only difference is that when someone has shingles, it's a reactivation of the latent virus, whereas with the chickenpox, it's the initial reaction when the virus just enters into the body. So anyone who has not had any previous experience with the disease is at risk of getting the chickenpox. This can either be that they haven't had the disease yet or they haven't been vaccinated. And this is why it occurs more often in children, because they haven't had because typically adults have had some sort of previous exposure, even though not all. So adults can get the chickenpox as well, but it's more focused on children. And overall, it's a mild disease. You just basically get sick for 5 to 10 days and then it's over. But complications can arise, especially for infants, pregnant women, and those with weakened immune systems, such as HIV and AIDS. And some of these complications can include things like pneumonia, bleeding problems, and infection. And these infections can occur in places like the brain, and the bloodstream, and the bone. And then this disease, even though it's rare, has been the cause of death for some people. So the virus that causes this disease is called the varicella zoster virus. It's part of the herpes viridae family and the subfamily alpha herpes viridae. And these viruses are well known for their isohedral capsid and their double-stranded DNA, which the varicella zoster virus does have. In addition, the viron of this virus does have a lipid envelope, so it's an enveloped virus. And this virus is capable of latency. So it will enter into cells, commonly the dorsal root ganglia cells, which can be found in the nervous system, and they will lie in dormant there for a while until they're reactivated. And when they're reactivated, they're going to be coming back as shingles. And this virus can be found worldwide, especially in temperate climates. So that is why it's very common here in the United States. So here is a diagram of the structure of the varicella zoster virus. As you can see, it has the lipid envelope with the glycoprotein spikes. It also has an isohedral capsid with the double-stranded DNA genome. So In 1995, the chickenpox vaccine was introduced, which was a huge breakthrough in preventing this disease from occurring. Now, before 1995, usually an average of 4 million people got this disease every year in the United States. And this caused around 10 to 13,000 people had to go into the hospital, and also roughly 100 to 150 people died every year because of this disease. And this vaccine has made a huge impact in preventing this disease. So by 2010, roughly 90% of all children have had this vaccine and are now currently protected from this disease. So there was a report done by the NNDSS in 26 states, and they found from 2000 to 2010, the occurrence of this disease has decreased by 82% thanks to the vaccine. Also, this had they did a report on hospitalization rates before the vaccine in 1998 to 1995, and after the vaccine in 2000 and 2006. And they found that these rates have decreased by 95%. And then also they did a study of the rates of death that occurred before the vaccine and after the vaccine. And they found that this has decreased by 98.5%. And these are comparing rates from 1990 to 1994, and then the rates of 2008 to 2009. So the vaccine has really made an impact in preventing this disease and saving many people's lives. So ever since 2006, it has been recommended that everyone receive 2 doses of this vaccine, and this allows around roughly 80% of all vaccinated children to be completely protected. They're not going to have any experiences with this chickenpox disease. Now, the other 20% may have a case of chickenpox, but it's going to be a much milder case than if they were to be if they didn't receive any vaccine. And so every year, this vaccine saves roughly 3.5 million people from getting this disease, which saves 9,000 cases of hospitalization and saves 100 people from death. So this is, and these are annual rates. So the chickenpox vaccine is very important to prevent disease from occurring. So in conclusion, the chickenpox disease mainly affects the skin. The signs are very well known, and they can last from 5 to 10 days. And then also it is a very contagious disease that can be transferred through the air and direct contact, which makes it very common and easy to get. Overall, it's mild, but complications can arise, and death has been known to occur from this disease. It's caused by the varicella zoster virus, and also the vaccine has prevented millions of cases of this disease every year, and it has made a huge impact in preventing chickenpox from occurring here in the United States. So anyway, thank you so much for listening to my presentation, and I hope you have a good day.